So welcome back. We're going to do some more standard form of linear equations. We're really going to get to practice our algebra skills on all this. So a lot of stuff can be graphed, but when it comes to standard form, the manipulations really are all based heavily in our algebra skills of able to move things around. So without any further ado, we want to write a linear equation in standard form of the line that passes through this point and it has a slope of 5/3. Our strategy again is we want to write an equation in slope-intercept form first because that's usually the easiest way to go about it. So we want to use y equals mx plus b. Notice how we know the slope is 5/3. So what we have now is y is equal to 5/3 x plus b. Now we still need to find the y-intercept. So what we're going to do next is use the ordered pair for x and y. So remember, in that ordered pair, this 3 is an x value and this 5 is a y value. So down in my equation, I'm going to replace the y with a 5, so that y is going to change to a 5. It's equal to then, I'm going to replace that x with a 3, so I'm going to have 5/3 times 3, and then I have my plus b. Now, my next move is to solve for b. To solve for b, we still need to simplify this. Notice how the 3's will just divide out, and I have 5 is equal to 5 plus b. And what we can pick up on here, if that's 5, this has to be 5. We can kind of see that b has to be 0. But if we want to solve for b, we can still just use our 0 pair, 0 out that 5 by putting a -5 on both sides. And we have now 0 is equal to b. So now I'm ready to write my slope-intercept form of the equation. So I have y is equal to 5/3 x plus 0. So again, plus 0 really doesn't add any value to it. So if we want, we can just drop that out of the problem. We don't need that plus 0 there at this point. It just adding 0 has no value, so just leave it out. Now, here's where it gets a little tricky. A, b, and c have to be integers. Remember, integers are positive and negative whole numbers. They cannot be fractions. So we have an issue here with 5/3 because it's a fraction. Now, to make a fraction become a whole number, we need to get rid of that denominator. So I need to find a number that 3 can divide out with. And what I can see is I can get rid of a 3 by multiplying everything by 3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply each side of the equation by 3. And I'm going to put that 3, actually let's try that again. I'm going to write down y equals 5/3 x again. And I want to multiply each side by 3. I'm going to just do that in this color here. Maybe that'll show up a little bit better. So remember, I'm using algebraic strategies. Whatever you do one side, I want to do the other. And what I want to do is make that 3 divide out over here, but also got to multiply the other side by 3 to keep it balanced out. So this becomes 3y. And that's going to equal then, these 3's are going to divide out, and I now have a 5x. Now, since a has to be a positive number, notice how it's already positive. So really what I want to do is 0 out the y to make it get to the other side with x. So I want to put a -3y here, and I want to add a -3y over here. So 3y and a -3y is a 0 pair. That's going to equal then, and then I have a 5x and a -3y. So what I have then is 5x minus 3y is equal to 0. That would be my standard form. Again, we usually like to have the x and y on the left side and the constant on the other side. So we can just swing that around and rewrite that as 5x minus 3y is equal to a 0. So that would be what we would call standard form. So, next example, you may want to pause the video and see if you can kind of do it before I do this, and then just try to check your answers out. You may already be doing that strategy. So, don't be afraid to put my videos on pause and work things before I do, and see what happens. So stay tuned.